All right, here we are. Welcome to season 2 of Young Valley Leaders, where we feature the upcoming movers and shakers in your backyard, in our community. I'm your host, Lewis Holzman, and today I'm here with Mitch Hanna.
Lewis, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mitch. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to see you.
It's
welcome
great
back.
to see you. Thank you. Thank you. And welcome to WDIY. Welcome back to yourself.
Yeah.
Because this is not your first time, right? You're a board member, previous board member?
I am. Board member in the early 2010s, right after college. Listened to the station while I was at Muhlenberg College and really liked the diversified programming, especially the folk music here. And started volunteering here after school, got to know some of the people who were on air, listened to the music, tuned into the shows, and yeah, was on the board for a few years. Great experience, great introduction to different people in the community, and also the rich musical talent that's here.
Yeah, it's very critical. It's such a staple in our community for the past 30 some years. And people like yourself are a big part of continuing to pass that torch as the next generations of people become interested and even learn of what WDIY is. Big proponent of what the show's about, but also being able to expand that to other community elements that we're involved in that maybe those that share same interest of us don't know. WDIY is here and have music in different genres and programming that would interest them as well. So thanks for being a champion of WDIY for so long.
Good. It's happy to be here. I'm happy to be a member and support the station.
Heck yeah. But that's not it. That's not all where it starts and stops. Mitch, you've been a long time Lehigh Valley member, I think originally hailing from Bethlehem.
East side of Allentown. Originally grew up in a neighborhood called Midway Manor.
Shout out to the Manor.
I love the Manor. Actually, my dad grew up there. My grandmother and my great aunt were there. So we all played t-ball on the same field, went to the same elementary school. My best friends lived in that neighborhood. It was just a great childhood growing up there. My father was an Allentown police officer, so rich ties to the Allentown community. And then we moved to Bethlehem. I went to Nitram Middle School, went to Liberty High School, then came back to Allentown for college.
Yeah, so Muhlenberg, and then, as you mentioned, that's where you found the station originally. And you continued to deepen roots further here, not just in Allentown, but the community at large, coming out of Muhlenberg and finding roles within the Chamber of Commerce and within City Center, eventually leading you to the Butz Family of Companies, all three of which are critical organizations to the growth of Allentown now. But when we think of Butz companies, but Butz family in general, I mean, we're talking about decades and generations of legacy that they've been making an impact here in the Lehigh Valley and certainly beyond. So being part of that and continuing, I think earlier today you had just mentioned you walk to work. You're now on the west side of Allentown, and truly a true steward of what the community has to hold here. So I'm really excited to dig into what makes that special for you, and how do you find some of the access for those components, and how do we share that a little bit more with others?
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So let's start on the corporate side first and foremost. I mean, we talked about Butz a little bit, but if you could just highlight what is the Butz Family of Companies, or more specifically your role, and how you got there.
Yeah. So I just celebrated 8 years with the Butz Family of Companies.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Time flies when you're having fun, right? And it's a great company to work for. Many of my colleagues have been there for decades. Sometimes their full career working in construction management. So what we do is we are construction managers for large institutional clients, healthcare, nonprofit, college, community, industrial clients in the Lehigh Valley and beyond. We serve as their building partner for the project. We have sister companies with offices in State College, Harrisburg, and Conshohocken. And in my role, I manage our proposal process. So we do respond to 45 RFPs a year.
Wow.
It's significant, and big mega projects.
Yeah.
Beaver Stadium was an RFP that I got to work on.
Wow.
Projects underway right now. Really exciting to see the stadium being expanded. LVHN is a big client of ours, work on several RFPs for them, and then community projects as well. We have a very exciting project happening right now in Upper Macungie Township at Grange Park. It's going to be a new community center for them. So really, really cool in my role of the RFPs, getting to learn about those projects before they start, understand what the client hot buttons are, and then work with our sales executives and our project management team to make sure that that our proposal is compelling. Additionally, with the company, I manage our general marketing, communications element, website, social media, e-newsletters, print articles, national publications.
You're not busy at all.
We're busy. Yeah, we're very busy, especially when we have these tight deadlines for things like I discussed. So I love it. The company, we're sixth generation, dating our history back to the mid 1800s of constructing covered bridges in the Lehigh Valley, which if you're from this area, you know that that's one of our distinguishing factors. I'm an outdoor enthusiast, so sometimes I find myself running through a park local to Allentown, and I get to run over a covered bridge that was built by a sixth generation Butz family builder. And then I walk into work and I work with the fourth generation Lee, the fifth generation Greg, who's our current CEO and president, and then the sixth generation Mike and Steve, who are taking leadership roles within the company. So it's really full circle for me, and I think for our community as well, to have this company that has such deep roots here and continues to build structures that foster a quality of life in the Lehigh Valley that's special. Da Vinci Science Center, Coca-Cola Park, PPL Center, Arts Quest, Sands.
All very notable, prominent places that most people here in the Lehigh Valley have gone to or attend.
Right. So yeah, it's great to have those types of experiences and to work for a family that's community minded and also invest in this community, not only with their talents but also with treasures and in philanthropic ways with various charities.
Yeah, literally building community.
Yep.
Right, and at the very forefront of or the frontier of that. Between the company and your role in itself, because before the projects come to life, you got to win them somehow. They got to make it compelling. You're the one that's making that happen and come to life. So that's pretty neat because you're at like the very beginning ideation stage of how do we even make this a reality?
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there's a whole slew of team members and other things that happen that then physically make it a reality.
Yes.
But you're the one crafting that vision initially.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, my father was a police officer. My grandfather worked at Mack Truck. Another grandfather works in a blue collar job as a machinist, and a lot of that's something that's true to our roots here in the Lehigh Valley. I feel the working class, and with our company, I have a white collar job working in the office, but we've worked with so many trade partners and just repeatedly over decades. We've built that trust. We're reliable. They count. They know that they're going to get paid when they work with us. And it's just so those partners with trade, with industry. It's crucial to our success, and it's something that we take pride into working with trade.
So, how did you get to that point? Did you kind of know coming out of school that, hey, the blue collar family history, and I want to move more into a white collar, job setting, or was it just kind of happenstance that community and economic development and construction opportunities came upon us based on just the realities of what our area is going through? Because I think political science and American studies is what your focus was. Yeah. Obviously a little bit different.
Sure.
And so would love to hear how that journey kind of transpired.
Yeah, it wasn't linear. Certainly had different interests and different paths that could have gone down. I would say for me, the consistent was being in Allentown, being a part of this community, and seeing the possibilities of this place. It made me want to be a part of it. So at Muhlenberg, I had wonderful professors in the political science department. I had an early experience where we went abroad to the country of Bangladesh and got to see some of the hardships that those people face. Yet they came together as a community to tackle these important quality of life issues and make the most of a situation that in in many cases was dire for these people because of the extreme level of poverty. But in the Lehigh Valley, when I came back after that experience, I saw that we had a lot of work to do here, and why not start in my hometown? So that was when community activism, government, learning more about policy within our community of what can we do to make Allentown, in particular Lehigh Valley more broadly, a better place to live, to work, and to thrive. So I became very interested in urban politics and the community activism on an urban level, and that was at the same time when the PPL Center was being built and all of the development in downtown, and I wanted to be a part of it. And that's really what was the carrot that made me want to stay here. I had opportunities to go to Philadelphia to be in a larger city, to continue my studies, and talked with a mentor at the time and asked him, hey, what do you suggest I do? Should I go somewhere else to a big city, or should I stay here? And he said, what's happening here is only going to happen once
in your lifetime, at least.
Yeah. And if you want to be a part of it, make your mark. And that's what I did. I got a job at City Center, was working on the development side of things, really enjoyed the work, bought a house in downtown, rehabbed a house, started walking to work. I work somewhere else now. I still walk to work. I bike to the gym. I bike to the farmer's market. I walk to the library. I want to be a part of the city. I love the rhythm of the city. I love the changes that are happening in our community, and I want to be a part of it. So yeah, that was really the education that I had at schooling, but then also the education on the streets of wanting to work to make this community a better place.
Your energy is infectious, my man, and you leaving a lot of carrots for me to come back to. And the one thing I want to pull forward is the community. You keep using that word in such a deeper level than just a physical place, but the aura, the vibe, the pulse of which our community, and we're talking about Allentown, but really the Lehigh Valley.
Sure.
Each individual place has their own sub communities within the valley.
Right.
But even thinking about, Lehigh Valley or Allentown in and of itself, what does community mean to you, and how do we pull that forward more? Because you mentioned we have a lot more work to do. Mm-hmm. Arguably, I've shared a similar experience. You go other places in the world that materially maybe they have less,
sure,
but somehow they seem to have a lot more when it comes to that bond of community that is just that is tangible,
sure,
within their downtowns or their piazzas or their squares or their markets. And I'd love to learn kind of your perspective of what we can do more of, or how you see that already progressing since 10 years ago when you jumped in.
Yeah, I'm a full believer in that. We're stronger together, and our communities thrive when everybody steps up and works to make their small plot better. And roll up your sleeves, jump right in, do it. Probably, I was young to be on the board at WDIY. I was right out of college. I wasn't threatened. I wasn't afraid. I learned, and the community welcomed me to it. I maybe made some missteps initially, not having served on a board before, but I did it, and I learned a lot from it, and I'm here now because everything that you learn up until that point gets you to where you are right now. So anyone who's wants to be more involved but isn't sure if they're ready, or they don't know where to start, or if they're going to have something to contribute, yes, do it, and something good will happen of it.
Something good will happen when you contribute, when you put yourself out there, step out into the fire. You'll probably walk through the flames if you keep walking. Mm-hmm. We're going to get a little bit more into that as we come back in the second session. But for right now, I'm Lewis Holzman here with Mitch Hanna at Young Valley Leaders, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Lewis Holzman here with Mitch Hanna, Young Valley Leaders, Season 2. We're talking about community. We're talking about the Lehigh Valley. We're talking about Allentown. We're talking about the Butz Family and the corporations that they've been able to bring to literally build community over the past 6 generations. And we're talking about, what does community mean to you, and how do we get involved? Part of that, though, is less outward and more inward, and being able to figure out, how do you have the mental capacity, the mental strength, the healthy habits that allow you to push forward, that allow you to walk through the fire, and put yourself out there, so that you can be your best self, but also corral the rest of the community. So, Mitch, I'm curious, what do you have for yourself, or what do you like to do? Any routines? It could be, things that help keep composure. It could be self-care. It could be, things you do or seek out that help kind of keep that fire flamed inside of you.
Sure. Yeah, that's so important. And the routines for me, if I don't exercise, I feel it in the day. My energy level is not there. My focus isn't there. I need to be moving. So I'm an avid runner. Boston qualifier.
Ooh.
Hoping to do that in April of 2026.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Qualified in Rehoboth in April. Ran 2 hours and 52 minutes for my marathon. Pretty happy with it. Yeah, thanks. We live in a great place for running. The DNL Run Fest is coming up. Bethlehem Running Festival, St. Luke's Half are all races here that, if anyone is looking to do distance running, I'd encourage you to try those events out. Great for the community, and also good for your body.
Distance
good for your
running
mind.
is more than a 5K, right?
Distance running, I would say anything over a 5K.
Okay.
Yeah. 5K, 10K, great introduction to it. And then if you want to challenge yourself, do a half or try the full.
Would you arguably say that taking your body to that next level to run for 2+ hours is more mental than physical?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The training leading up to it is surreal. Long runs on the weekends, speed workouts during the week. You really, your body has to become a well-oiled machine in order for you to perform at that level. And the dedication, the perseverance, overcoming the tears. I was in Rehoboth. I have to share this story. It was just close to the finish, and barely hanging on, coming back into the town after completing more than 23 miles of the race, and I thought I was going to have to stop and walk, and I fought back tears of just getting to the boardwalk to finish the race. It was a great moment when I did. Very happy to have my friends and my family there to support me, the level of the sense of accomplishment after doing something like that, it helps. So to answer your question, how do I like to de-stress? Something in my life that adds a little bit more stress, doing a race. But no, getting out there running, it's a fantastic community. Love being outside, love moving my body, love challenging myself physically, and running is a great way to do that.
And tying that into the community, I mean, the park systems that we have here make that incredibly possible. Are there any favorites that you find yourself?
Ooh.
I mean, you mentioned the DNL, but anything else?
They're all different, and that's what I love about it. For proximity, Lehigh Parkway is very close to me. If I run from my house and go to Bogart's Bridge and back, it's about a 10K. Also, 10K would be from my house to Trexler Park, through the park, and home is a 10K. My house to Muhlenberg College is a 5K. So great parks running, I get to run through on all those routes. I would say my favorite place, to answer your question, is not in Allentown. It would be in Schnecksville, the Trexler Game Preserve. That is, if you're looking for a challenge, go for a hike, go for a run on those hills there.
And talk about just kind of pulling forward another steward of community. I mean, the park system, let alone the Trexler Game Preserve, is all because of General Trexler and making sure that we had that green space, and that's been presered since his death in the 60s.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And you can still see some of his on Hamilton Street, some houses that were associated with him still stand, and then in Trexler Park, there's a building there that I think was a cabin of his.
Yeah, I think a hunting cabin.
Yeah, so to think that the city was that sparsely populated in that area at that time is wild.
Trying to visualize that now, which is how much of a metropolitan area that we've grown to. And of course, we're not New York, we're not Philly, we're not even Pittsburgh type of metro area, but still the amount of people, and even if it's just cars and commute that we see on a day-to-day basis, thinking about just all the trees and wildland and roaming ranges of animals and everything that was here less than 100 years ago, even less than 50 in some areas, really does show the transformation that we've been having. And kind of going back to community and the ability to run and the ability to walk and the ability to get that natural exercise just as part of your day-to-day habit and routine is something that is kind of like specialized in the United States here.
Oh, yeah.
That's not like every day everyone's doing that. But to your point earlier, I'd probably in Bangladesh, certainly in other places, most other places in the world, they're walking most places that they go. And that tends to be how you can experience community in a different way rather than 40-foot long wide roads and cars passing by at miles per hour. You kind of miss a lot of the collective because you're going singularly.
Sure.
And so it's an interesting paradigm that we have here in America compared to really the bulk of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Swimming? You want to talk about swimming?
Yeah, I love to swim. I was a regular at the adult lap swim in Cedar Beach Pool in Allentown this summer. Great community there of people who got up early, got outside, swam laps, socialized, and built community around being outside, being in the pool, and wellness. Pool's closed for the season, so we're swimming inside. I know, it's time. It got a little cold there towards the end, actually.
Especially in the mornings.
Yeah. We had the coffee. That helped. And now we're swimming at Muhlenberg College, which is nice. I also like to cycle, and we live in a great area for cycling. Lehigh Valley Velodrome is a really, really great place to get out and ride a bike. You can join an A, B, or C ride from the Velodrome through some more rural areas west of here, and then Friday night, if you're not doing anything, you can go to Friday Night Lights and see some semi-professional cyclists ride.
And even if you're not like a track cyclist or even a road cyclist, I forget the specific name of the park there, but right next to the Velodrome, they have an awesome paved... Bob Rodale. Okay, they have an awesome paved park that you can just go walk, run, or just take a normal whatever type of bike to go and just get some exercise. Talk about another legacy name with the Rodales there. Making our community really enriched over the years. Lots about outdoors activities. You mentioned early on in the first segment here about loving the folk that came out of WDIY. So I'd love to pull that forward a little bit more. What do you do for fun here in the Valley, or maybe it's outside of the Valley? And any best kept secrets, hidden gems, things like that you're interested in? Yeah,
good. So WDIY was a great introduction to different music genres that I didn't necessarily grow up listening to or maybe wasn't popular in mainstream media. And through WDIY, I heard about a bluegrass community that was advertised in Wind Gap. And they had an upcoming festival that was happening, and I heard about it. This was just after the pandemic. Reached out to a few friends in New York City who wanted to get out of the city, and I said, I found something that we might be able to try. Do you guys have a tent? No, we don't have a tent. Okay, I can find one for you. And my friends Jordan and Eric took the bus from New York and met me here in Allentown. I picked them up. We drove up to Wind Gap and pitched a tent and listened to bluegrass for about 4 days. Camping, fire, marshmallows, good time with friends who we met, and just camaraderie. And I found another community up there through music of bluegrass that I wouldn't have known without WDIY. So that was about 4 years ago. Fast forward to today, I'm a member of the Appalachian Fiddle and Bluegrass Association, which is a nonprofit based in Wind Gap with the mission of promoting bluegrass music. And I was just the marketing director for our festival in August, and we advertised through WDIY.
How was the festival?
The festival was great. Record turnout, beautiful weather,
Was it the same
awesome
festival
bands.
you went to the first time?
It was at the same park. It was our end of summer festival.
Okay.
And yeah, my friends continue to come out. We've upgraded from a tent to a pop-up camper.
Cool.
Have a semi-permanent spot where we're up there, and it's just a great community of people who come together around bluegrass folk music, and one of the things that we do that I think is really special and cool is that we have a Bluegrass Music Academy for kids. So throughout the weekend of the festival, young teenagers who are playing music are encouraged to come to meet with a camp counselor, and they teach them to play a few songs, and then at the end of the festival they play on stage. So that's pretty cool to see at the end of the festival after all these national, regional touring acts. Seeing the kids come up there and do their thing is awesome.
It's passing the torch down.
That's right.
It's continuing to build, and we keep coming back to it. That community. The community is not the roads and the buildings and the physical place, but it's the people that surround and make that, in this case, the music that brought it together. But it truly is those people and those children are the ones that are going to continue to expand and compound on that community, just as yourself. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be kids. You found it, you said 4 years ago, right?
Yep.
So I'll have to make it up there.
Oh, definitely.
I think it was like, I don't know, a year or so ago, you told me about it and gave me a little bit of an invite. So next time it's happening here.
Yep, I'm going to come pick you up.
I want to know.
We have tents. We've got a spot. So
I got
come
tents. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Let's do it. That's incredible. Anything else that you want to touch on as far as fun or things to do, or area things that you think maybe people don't know about but should?
There's a lot here to do. There's a lot that you don't know about, and I encourage people to just try something different. But it might not be something new. So something that just happened last week, the Great Allentown Fair. Did you go? You were out of town.
Yeah, I was out of town.
Awesome weather, fun time. That's been going on for over 100 years, right? I never entered anything into the Blue Ribbon Ag Hall demo display thing. Yeah, sure. And I thought, I have a garden. I have some antiques. I can cook, so maybe I could enter something in there. And entered a few things: photographs of the dog, salsa, the baked good, and yeah, like we got to meet some really cool people when we were entering these items into the contest. They had over 8,000 entries, and then my family and my friends, we walked through it, we looked at it, and it was really cool to be a part of that community, something that's been around for 100 years. I never did it before, and it was just something fun to do that was here.
And
so
if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know, yeah. It doesn't need to be something super flashy, right? You don't have to go to I have to spend a lot of money. It was $12 to enter, and it was cool to go around and meet other people who had their entries. And we had the heaviest zucchini in the fair, and we met the person who had the second heaviest, and we form a connection, and we're kind of joking about.
You had the heaviest zucchini?
We did, yeah. It was
wow.
It was over
Congratulations.
8 pounds. Yeah.
8 pounds zucchini.
Yeah.
That's a serious zucchini.
It was, yeah. So expect some zucchini bread.
All right. I'll look forward to it.
So, yeah, I mean, I say that, it's like there's a rock, right? Like turn the rock over, see what's under there, and try something different.
You will never be a part of any community if you don't actually go out there and put yourself into one of them,
right?
Into something.
Yep.
You'll always just sit there and wonder, well, why is there nothing to do?
Mm-hmm. And I talked to some of the volunteers there. They put in over 150 hours at that fair, just doing that
Easy.
Contest. Yeah, and I said to them after picking up our items, I said, I really appreciate what you did here, and this was no easy feat. You sacrifice time from your family, from your home, from relaxing, and they appreciated that. We appreciated them being there, and I also think that they like that we were there. So it's great. There's a lot to do here, and whatever your taste or flavor, I say do it, and encourage others to do something too. I do have one more shout out that I want to do. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my family and the importance and the impact that my dad has had on me. So this might be a nice close, but my dad raised me as a single father, police officer in his 20s, and we lived in a house with my dad's grandparents and my dad's great-grandmother.
Wow.
We had 4 generations in a house. There's a ceramic studio in the basement, and the saying that it takes a village to raise a child resonates with me, because it was my dad, Mark, it was my grandmother, my grandfather, my great aunt, my great uncle, my great grandfather, my great grandmother, my grandparents on both sides, and without them stepping up to be a part of my life, I wouldn't be where I am today or have the values that I do. So the community focus that I have comes from my upbringing with them, and I'm just so happy that they're still a part of my life, people who I talk to every day.
Man, you can't fake goosebumps and chills, dude. Holy crap. That's incredible. And I mean, when you talk about family and how close of a community that can be and should be, it's no surprise to hear that that's a staple for you, and what a lot of it tracks back to, and what has allowed you to be such a fantastic, fine gentleman here today, and giving back just as they were to their community, and still are. And I don't know the depths of your family now, but I do know your dad slightly. I know he's still active, involved here.
He's still running. We're chasing after each other.
Incredible. Thank you for sharing that. A very nice personal touch. I was going to ask if you had any closing remarks or anything you wanted to say, but I think maybe that was it.
That's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, well, that's about the time that we do have here today. I'm here with Mitch Hanna on Young Valley Leaders. Thank you so much for taking the time to come in.
Thanks to the staff, the volunteers here. You guys are crushing it.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better. The staff and WDIY gives us the chance to tell our stories and to be able to hear the personal outlets that do make up our community and allow us to continue to build upon that and ensure that we take the torch as the future leaders and the current upcoming leaders here, so we can be the grandparents and the great-grandparents and the great-uncles for our children and their children for years to come.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, Lewis. This is so important. Encouraging others, carry the torch. We're stronger together. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Let's roll up our sleeves and go to work. Thank you, Matt, here with the video. As always,
Thanks,
James,
awesome.
Seamus, the rest
Seamus,
of here at WDIY. I'm Lewis Holzman, here with Mitch Hanna on Young Valley Leaders, and we'll see you next month.
See ya.